it, Kara?
Yeah.
Not quite?
Maybe.
Where are you going to start?
Don't know.
What just happened? Yeah, start at the beginning. Let's just start at the beginning.
Each take?
Yeah, what are you doing? What?
Or we just... Okay.
Yeah, just start. Let's just start at the beginning and watch what's happened. Hang on a second. Pause. Where's the sound emanating from? Oh, okay. We got a volume. Hit it, Kara.
Ready.
Scene one, take.
Is this going to be the same take two? Okay, you can just go through this and then pause when you get to Malika on this take.
Okay.
Okay.
Two.
Action.
Oh, this is better. The other one. So what I was going to say was, you could see in the first frame, Leo's head was a little cut off, which is totally fine and normal to have the top of heads in shots cut off. But once Malika got up there, I don't know if it's true of this one because it was better, the camera didn't adjust for the height difference between Leo and Malika. So when Malika came in, there was all that space in the frame above her head. Right? And so it's not just that she was cut off, but also just the actual framing of the shot itself. You really want to make sure, like, space above the head, you don't want. You're better off actually cutting the head off a little bit.
Yeah,
anything else on that?
You just tilt down.
Yeah.
That happens when you framed up on the tallest person, and then when they leave, you tilt down as the other person comes in.
So what you want to do for that is you just want to do a camera rehearsal, right, with the actors, so that the camera operator knows, okay, when Leo's out here. And usually what happens is the camera operator will actually give yourself kind of a mark of where you're moving the camera to, so that you remember. Because once you're actually doing the shoot, then Leo moves out, and you might be like, ah. So you give yourself a mark to where you move that camera, Malika comes in. Does that make sense? To all? Okay, roll it.
Action. You ready, bitch? Rehearsal.
Yes, we're missing the slate here.
Action.
Oh, you can hear the slate. Can you pause, Kara? What's happening with the slate in this?
It's just rehearsal.
It's
But
just
they're
we're
recording.
shooting the rehearsal.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my recommendation. So I'm actually a huge fan of shooting the rehearsal. However, when you're shooting the rehearsal, slate your rehearsal so that you actually know what it is. It's identified in your footage. So you can even slate it as a rehearsal. But shooting rehearsals is like, you don't want to shoot them all, but sometimes shooting a rehearsal can be really productive in terms of, because sometimes the first take is your best take. And so sometimes that's actually the rehearsal, if you've already rehearsed quite a bit.
And why you want to slate it is because sometimes your editor is not on set. So when they're getting the footage, they're going to be like, oh God, what scene is this? Where do I put this? They don't know what's happening. So you need to always identify it for your editor if they're not there, or even if they are. It might be a long time before you get back to the footage.
Pardon? Hey? That's okay. That's all right. Why would you? Right? It's absolutely, why would you? Nobody said you should or could. But in the future, it's a great thing to slate the rehearsal so that if you actually write down on your log sheet, we loved the rehearsal more than any of the takes, your editor can find it. Yeah. Okay. Roll, Carol.
You're right.
Please just give us one more.
Dave.
I'm waiting one more night for a week now. Better have it by tomorrow.
Rolling. Good frame.
Scene 1A, take 1.
Action.
Your rent.
Please just give us one more night.
Been waiting one more night for a week now. Better have it by tomorrow.
Can I just say something to Gabe? Where are you?
Gabe's not here.
Well, I can't say anything to Gabe. Gabe has it all. Okay.
Rolling.
Scene 1A, take 2.
That's not. Yeah, that's.
Hustle
children. Ready?
So you guys have to actually just go this way. You can't. You're not good enough. Get into the light of the board. There you go. So you see, yeah, exactly. So just make sure I'm in there right now. But if you get here, just make sure. Okay. So then be here for that, and then once you're done, you can go. Okay, go. Where are we?
Roll down.
Scene 2, take 1. Oh, wait. Roll sound. Roll camera. Scene 2, take 1.
Action.
What are we going to do?
Well, I mean, we could do
No, I don't want to do that.
that. Well, what else are we gonna do?
Cut. I just wanted to say a word about, so that everybody knows what Cade's gang was doing there. So they actually wanted to start the frame in black, right? So that they would have Malika's black top covering the lens, and then she would walk into the frame. And so what I was telling them is, in those situations, you need to clear the pathway of the camera for the slate, and then move the actor into position after you've done your slate, and then start.
And you're moving her back, so the slate always has to be in view. You have to always have a light on the slate so that we can actually see it, right? So sometimes they, whoever's doing the slate has a little flashlight and puts a flashlight on it if it's too dark, or sometimes they're lit up. So.
And do you understand why we need the slate? Do you guys understand that you just want to have that so your editor can see easily identify each of your scenes in clips?
Yeah, and normally, like if you're rolling or if you're shooting sound separate than your film, they're going to use that clap to sync it, right? So so we're going to have to always see where it claps, right? So having it a little further back, as opposed to the first couple were really close, might be a little hard when the clap is out of frame to sync that sound to the clap. Great.
Awesome, it's looking great so far. Roll.
Scene 2, take 2.
Action.
What are we going to do?
Well, I mean, we could do that.
No, I don't want to do that.
Well, what else are we gonna do?
Cut. Roll up. Rolling.
Scene 2, take 3.
Action.
What are we going to do?
Well, I mean, we could do that.
No, I don't want to do that.
Well, what else are we gonna do?
Cut. Rolling.
Scene 2A, take 1.
Action.
What are we going to do?
Well, I mean, we could do that.
No, I don't want to do that.
Well, what else are we gonna do?
Cut.
Cut, Kara. Nice. I just want to say nice. I like that. It's a good looking shot. What do you think?
You know what's nice about this case is that you called cut a little bit after the last line. So sometimes when you call cut too fast, then when you're editing, you're like, ah, crap, I need a little bit more time, you know. So it's a nice practice when you're directing to just wait maybe 3 seconds before you want to call cut. Just wait a couple seconds just to give your editor a little bit of breathing space.
Same with action. Same with action. If you just give it a long second before you call action, I mean, you don't need it on the top as much, it also settles everybody in. But definitely the cut, if you can wait a few seconds. The other thing about that is that you can often get a kind of an interesting thing from actors if you wait too long to yell cut, because they start being uncomfortable, and they know that they can't break the scene, so they have to stay in character, and you start getting interesting things happening on their faces, because they have to stay in the scene and they don't know what they're doing anymore. Right, so a little bit of kind of natural improv instinct comes in, and it can be quite good. And also, that's the other thing, sometimes your actor is doing something quite interesting, and you don't want to call cut, because you like the reaction that is on their, the reaction that they're going through right there, and you may be able to use it in your edit.